Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with a discussion and kind of a question. Now, I was thinking about a video topic, really thinking about most specifically striker-fired handguns versus hammer-fired handguns, and really the discussion of, as I have personally grown through my firearms journey, I am starting to absolutely develop some thoughts and opinions about which I prefer, when, where, and why. And I was thinking, well, that's probably something that many people are trying to discover as well. But more specifically, and in recent history, well, it's kind of come down to what's going on with the SIG P320, and would something like the P229 really start to change your opinion about what direction you would go if you were trying to make a purchasing decision. Now, I definitely have thoughts about this, and I know my opinions, and to be honest, it's completely regardless of the fact that the 320 has some controversy surrounding it this day and age. It's really a more, I'd say, developed thought process around my experience and what I've grown to like and what has really grown to enhance my shooting capabilities. And so with that, today's discussion really does cover that, but more in terms of a comparison of the SIG P320 versus P229. The SIG P320 was introduced in 2014 as a modular striker-fired design aimed at competing with Glock and other polymer-framed service pistols. Its adoption accelerated when it was selected in January 2017 as the U.S. Army's modular handgun system winner, becoming the full-sized M17 and compact M18. It has since been fielded across all U.S. military branches and is also adopted by several police agencies. Civilian adoption has been strong due to its modularity and aftermarket support. The SIG P229 debuted in the early 1990s as a compact evolution of the P226, designed to chamber 40 Smith & Wesson and later 9mm. It became a trusted service pistol among the U.S. Secret Service, DHS agencies, Federal Air Marshals, NCIS, and numerous state and local police departments. Its alloy frame and DASA operation were seen as reliable and safe. It has more than 30 years of proven field service. So it's the P320 that represents the modern era choice, modular, optics ready, and adopted by the U.S. military. The P229 represents a legacy duty gun with a reputation built over decades in federal service. For the SIG P320, reliability in the field has been acceptable, with the U.S. military validating it through extensive trials. However, recent reports and lawsuits over uncommanded discharge have created doubt. Mechanical reliability, feeding, extraction, endurance is solid, provided maintenance is observed. Polymer frames and interchangeable fire control units require careful tracking of wear. The P229's alloy frame and hammer-fired system have a strong record of long-term durability. Agencies often recorded round counts in the tens of thousands before requiring major service. Its metal construction provides robustness in adverse conditions, and its track record shows fewer systematic failures than newer striker designs. All in all, the P229 enjoys a conservative reputation as battle-tested. The P320 performs well mechanically, but at this point, perception of reliability remains clouded by legal cases. When it comes down to the manual of arms, the P320 is very straightforward. Load the magazine, rack the slide, and the pistol is ready. No decocker or hammer control required. The trigger feels the same with every shot, making training simple. Whereas the 229 is more complex. Chamber around, then decock to safely holster or carry. The first shot is double action, followed by single action. This requires deliberate training to ensure decocking is second nature. With limited training time, many might lean towards the P320 as the P229 demands discipline, but it does build strong handling habits. Striker-fired systems typically deliver a consistent trigger pull around 6 pounds. Short take-up, moderate wall, and a clean break define the feel. Reset is short, though not as tactile as some competitors. Consistency makes training simpler, and aftermarket trigger upgrades are common. With the 229, the double-action, single-action system requires mastering 2 trigger pulls, a heavy double action, around 10 pounds, with a long travel, then a light, crisp single action right around 4.4 pounds. Transitioning between them is a training challenge but rewards skill with precision. Decocking is part of the manual of arms chambering. The P320 is more intuitive for new shooters. The P229 requires more training but offers excellent single-action accuracy potential. With the P320, consistency of a striker trigger means the shooter can maintain proficiency with less frequent practice. Dry fire transfers directly to live fire. Training burden is low. Whereas the double action single action requires regular practice to maintain smooth DA pulls and safe decocking habits. Mastering it often makes shooters more disciplined and adaptable. In other words, the P320, low maintenance training investment, the P229, high discipline that reinforces fundamentals. The P320's consistent trigger simplifies live fire instruction. Lighter polymer frame increases perceived recoil, but remains manageable. Its modularity and optic-ready design integrate well into modern training curricula. With the 229, the heavier frame reduces recoil, allowing faster follow-up shots. The DA first shot requires focused training, but once mastered, single-action mode supports excellent accuracy. Many shooters find the P229 steadier in timed drills. The P320, faster onboarding. The P229, higher skill ceiling once the DASA mastered. The P320 is excellent for dry fire, consistently supporting the 6-pound trigger, which is easy to simulate with laser cartridges or training FCUs. Repetition builds consistency quickly. Thumb-on slide holstering is not applicable, but training focuses on trigger discipline and reset drills. With the 229, dry fire is essential to mastering the P229. Reps with the heavy 10-pound DA pull build strength and smoothness, while transitioning to the 4.4-pound SA requires additional training. The hammer allows safe thumb-on hammer reholstering, a tactile safety reinforcement. The P320, easier to train quickly. The P229 requires more investment, but produces shooters with refined fundamentals. And when it comes down to the 229, having that DA works very well, where you can train dry fire shot after shot after shot with continuous reps and no need to pause in between, whereas the striker fire does require racking in between individual rounds. With unloaded weights ranging from 26 to 29 ounces depending on the grip module and slide, the P320 is notably lighter for all-day carry. Its polymer frame reduces fatigue and allows for deeper concealment. Its availability in subcompact, compact, carry, and full-size modules makes it versatile across roles. At around 32 ounces unloaded, the P229 is heavier, which can make it long-term concealed carry less comfortable. However, the weight contributes to softer recoil management and a steadier sight picture. Compact dimensions still allow concealed carry, but with more effort than polymer alternatives. Weight is a deciding factor for many carriers. The P320 offers modular concealability, the P229 stability at the cost of extra ounces. And finally, the P320 benefits from one of the largest aftermarket ecosystems of any modern handgun. Users can swap grip modules, slides, and barrels while keeping the same serialized FCU. Aftermarket triggers, optic-ready slides, and grip frames abound. Holster compatibility is extensive due to the law enforcement, military, and civilian popularity. The P229's aftermarket is mature but traditional. It offers numerous holster options, sights, grips, rubber, G10, wood, and spring kits. Custom slide milling for optics is available, but not as widespread as the P320-ready options. And at this point in time, the P229 does have optics-ready options available. The P229 commonly favors gunsmith tuning and refinishing over modular swaps. If customization in optics is a priority, the P320 dominates. If you prefer a classic handgun with proven aftermarket support for sights and grips, the P229 suffices. And so, all right, guys, there you have it. A look at the SIG P320 and 229. Now, all in all, as I mentioned in the intro, this started conceptually as my thoughts between a striker-fired and a hammer-fired handgun. Now, I definitely have my opinion. I prefer, at this point, the hammer fired for a number of reasons. First off, generally overbuilt, more rugged, more of that duty quality, in my opinion. I love the fact that the 229 has the metal frame. I love that it's just sort of rugged and battle tested. Now, I also understand that the 320 has its own battle tested qualities associated with it, especially with the M17 and the M18. However, I do think that at the end of the day, introducing plastic, introducing kind of newer technology in a way, is going to be trumped by metal and things that are kind of timeless. And that's what I like about the 229. The fact that this is timeless. It goes to an era prior to, where we're coming from with the 320. It's battle tested. It's been around. This technology is proven. It's rugged. It's robust. It's kind of hard to defeat. So even though the 320 is a fantastic option, and even regardless of the fact that it's surrounded by controversy, the controversy is probably boiling down to a select number of units. And if you took all of the, hammer-fired handguns through the course of time, have they had problems too? Sure, of course they have. If you took other brands of striker-fired handguns, are they going to have problems too? Of course there are. It's really just a sample size, and I think we're kind of seeing some of that, and it's being heavily publicized because people have a media outlet and social media outlet to push the information. So with that, in my opinion, I would still go with the 229. I love the heavy duty and robust nature of it. I love the feel in the hand, the fit in the hand, and the fact that it is hammer fired. But what do you think? Leave some comments below. A little bit of a different video format for me today, just trying some new things, trying to keep it fun, trying to put out some interesting content, and I hope you enjoyed that. So with that, thank you for following along. Take care now. I'll see you soon.